By the Emperor's light, another warp breach! Purge the heretics for the Emperor! Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Rogue Trader. So, last time we managed to pick up Goth Mommy, and this time we have got a worker riot to put down. Come on, there we go. Hey, it's Wazirian. Take that, scum. Look who it is. This is all his fault. All of his. Did they just throw shit at you? Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startlingly human gesture, and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and weariness to show through his armor like a veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Oh, God, that's a little harsh. The people dared to disrespect a senior officer? They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers. Abelard grimaces. It is a junior officer's worst failings to pass problems up the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say it again. It was a mistake to come here on a lieutenant's vent's whim, Lord Captain. I very much disagree, dude. I've mentioned it a few times before, but if these people see their leader, they might respect him just a little bit more. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer, but in the name of Terra, that girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It will be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Did you hear? They were shouting her name. Of course they were. Organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. The mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. Sorry, I can't read. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend, one who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less, whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering the bay's heating. Yeah, I can see why they hate you. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this. Besides, Abelard doesn't deserve to sit in festering shit this whole time. Wow, nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. Something resembling a nest made out of thermal insulation material. This must be where the workers sleep between shifts. Alright, let me zoom out just a little bit.
Keep your wits about you.
I gotta try and remember. I think I just go up here and talk to him. But there is a hidden puzzle here, if you're able to find it. I think I gotta go over here.
Our purpose in coming here.
Okay.
Relax, old man. Going for a stroll on the lower decks every once in a while is good for you. Lets you see how the simple folk live.
A container can be seen beyond the massive bars. Perhaps examining the pipe will allow you to reach it.
I always keep my
And as you can see, it won't let me examine it. But if I play with some valves a little bit further on in the level, I should be able to... Okay. Alright, sorry, it's been a little bit since I've been able to record. So I'm having to remind myself of the controls. Anything in here? Ooh. Inside the box, a string of scratched letters runs along the edge. Different first names, but the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down in the family from generation to generation. Ooh, there we go. Thank you. Yes, please. As many of those as we can carry. The Omnisaya must be happy. But I don't think there's really anything for me to do in here quite yet. I'm pretty sure this is one of the valves I'm going to need to play with later.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
So I think for now we go over here and we try and put down this little workers' revolt. Hello? The sounds of a heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bays. Lieutenant Arvilla Vent of the ship's enforcers is bearing the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sourback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already, and now has reached a boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue traitor, and the Emperor himself. God damn, Vent. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Aw, he's proud. Abelard mutters in a crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sourback, looming over her, or both. Your lordship. Noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates, following a suit a moment later. Let's go with... yeah, let's start at the top. What's the situation? Your lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigative unit. And what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There's nothing to investigate. This simply calls for immediate repressions and firing squads. And you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. We encountered some locals on the way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried to throw shit at Abelard. Vent pales slightly. The people are getting desperate. Clearly, they saw the assault unit and they decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. Is that all you have to say? Are you sure you're worthy of an officer's rank, Lieutenant Vent? Vent pales slightly. Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure such a thing does not happen again. I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard's mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Damn right. We will have words later, buddy. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. End dialogue. Alright. Zoom out a little bit. And then, before we go further on... yeah, I'll go ahead and save over this one. I do not want to mess this up, and I will probably make another save in just a minute for the vent puzzle. Alright, let's do this. Greetings, your graces. Wow, nobles from the upper decks down here to see us. A dozen pair of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you've come down to see us? Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garb. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists, one wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole bays for weeks at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. The woman spits on the floor and rubs the spittle with the toe of her worn-out shoe. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's death are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. Aww. It is all true. Vent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidships and has no fellow feeling towards us. The grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Oh, that was a mouthful. Alright, so how do you explain the cultist medallion? The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say. I was told one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? Oh yeah, the common rabble doesn't even know what chaos is. If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off the dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies, the boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine. I can tell you that. It seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah? Those boots really were fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor, the same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the archenemy's creations? No, actually. Most people in the Imperium really do not know what chaos is. Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I I'd had my third little one. This is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Yeah, let's go with 4 real quick. We were attacked on the way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. Oh, god damn it. Sorry about that. My finger twitched. As if we don't know why these top deck units are being sent down here. Like the one there that the lieutenant won't let past. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who have had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides, and the soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. And a death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness test succeeded. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. Alright, anything to add, Abelard? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps were taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. I very much agree. Sourback, was it really necessary to torture these people with cold? That's a question I've been wanting to ask for a long time. The rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. You say that after we just got done talking to these idiots. As per regulations, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water. Jesus. Which is almost certain to restore order. Yeah, no, hard to be out of order when everyone's just dead. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need for punitive measures will disappear. Jesus. Alright, what can we do for you guys? That being said, that both of my officers want to continue the abuse. Would you look at this? The exalted Lord Captain is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what we want. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. We absolutely do. There are quite a few lined up there. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day is out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of these damn amulets about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. Stagger? You are a scholar and a gentleman, and I like your plan. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want any empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared speak out. The tall worker's eyes dart between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making a few vague noises of approval. Let's see. I think I can get away with these two without it being a decision, so let's hear them out. Abelard? The story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. A little bit harsh, but not entirely untrue. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. That does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. Again, very good point. You are absolutely correct in this world. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. Face darkens momentarily. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and his whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal-choking vine. So when it comes to scavengers, malcontent strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple. Give them no quarter. Fair enough. Master-at-Arms? Give the rabble a grox, and they will take an agri, world lord captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. I absolutely agree. So we are going to go with, number 3. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step toward embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we'll consider the rest. Coercion test succeeded. The tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old man, listen. Listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. And I don't know a single person in the whole of Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to him. Back down. Now's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Rivet, again, you are a scholar and a gentleman, just like Stagger over here. Stagger, listen to us, old man. The 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made up our minds. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman? But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great. Just fantastic. Lord Captain, we're all agreed. 4 is such a dick move. Then it's decided the persecution will stop, and I will expect you to assist in locating any remaining amulets or weapons left by the cultists. I also really want those boots, but I assume that's part of the deal. Your lordship, thank you. You have not abandoned us lower deckers. You came yourself and settled everything. I'll tell my grandchildren about this. That right there is why I wanted to come in person. These people have never seen a rogue trader. Theodora was probably afraid of mud. So me coming down here has bought a lot of good faith. Or at least I hope it has. Of course, your lordship, will root out any nasty business faster than the enforcers, and will leave no stone unturned. This is complete bedlam. Are you satisfied, Lord Captain? Then may I suggest... Oh, Jesus. Abelard, stop talking so quick. You know I'm a slow man.
Let us not dawdle.
Alright, there should be something over here, I vaguely remember. Nothing? Alright, maybe there's a valve in just a second. Here we go.
This is intriguing.
The page is where the start of each shift is marked. The last mark is missing. The workers went on strike. Alright. Well, before I mess this up, I'm going to save real quick. There we go. Alright. 100%. I like those odds.
Just as I planned.
Oh god. This gauge shows that the steam pressure in this pipe is close to the maximum. Ah, damn it. Alright. Let's do this puzzle. So, you might notice this little symbol here. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of other pipes that are marked with that symbol somewhere. Oh no. Instantly proven wrong. Instantly proven wrong. Well, I'm glad my Swiss cheese brain. Nothing is happening. Perhaps turning a different valve will work. Aha! I was right. Okay, so there's some fake valves around. The heat sink warms the air around it to scorching temperatures. This is the warmest part of the bay. The workers have even dragged deck chairs in here. Yeah, I don't blame them. Alright, so we are on the lookout for that symbol. Come on, you guys. I think there's one over here.
I always have a backup plan.
Nope. Alright. I gotta try and remember where all of these are. I see Vent got the hell out of here. Let's see. I know there's one. There we go. Huge pipes, the arteries of the ship, run through the many bays, delivering air, water, heat, and the propulsive force of the steam. Now, I think... There we go. Alright. So that's the sound of victory, more or less. I was pretty sure
Keep your wits about you.
there was another one around here somewhere. No, maybe it's really is over here. This one? Nothing is happening. Alright. This one? Damn. Gotta try and find that symbol.
I always keep my options open.
Let's see if this will work. Okay. So there are more. We do not want to go too far towards that elevator because it'll basically put us into a cutscene to leave. Where is the other valve? So we pulled that one. Where is the next one at?
Is there money to be made?
This one? No. Where is it? Sorry about this. Sorry about this. I thought I was just going to be able to run straight in and just get this done. Alright, so it goes over here. It went to this. Goes back down.
Let us not dawdle.
So, there's the original one. Then it comes over here. And we've already done that. Let's see. There's gotta be one of these levers that I'm missing. Not that one. I've already done this bottom one. If I can't remember it in the next minute or so, I will look it up. Kinda strange that I can't find it around here somewhere. Okay, so this is... There it is. There you are, you son of a bitch. Alright. Now we go do this. Damn it. Damn it. Maybe this one? No. Damn it. What one do I do now? Here we go. Maybe this one.
I always have a backup plan.
Alright. We're finding a bunch of new levers at the very least. A bunch of new valves. There's gotta be one more with the symbol on it. I'm sure I've ran past it like 3 times. So, here's the original one. Comes from over here. I'm not seeing any... Ooh. That's nice. That's at least a thing. Huh. Sorry that this is taking up so much of the episode, you guys. But I should... We've got the symbol on the ground right there. Comes up here. Where is this last one going to be at? So we got that one. I don't want to go over here quite yet because that'll lead to a cutscene that I'm not ready for.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Alright, I may have to pause it if I can't find it here pretty soon. Because I don't want to waste the whole episode going, is this it? I know it's around here somewhere. I just... goddamn my Swiss cheese brain. If I only had 2 more brain cells, I might be able to remember this. Gotta be around here somewhere. It feels like I've checked every valve twice by now. The thing is the box that this unlocks, it isn't even that groundbreaking. It's not like it's a special weapon or armor or anything. I think it's just some healing kits and a grenade. Sorry about this. Yeah, alright. I guess I'm just gonna have to look it up. That, or I could run around off camera and try and find it myself. Yeah, I like that option better. I think I'm just gonna pause the recording and try and run around off camera and see if I can't find it. because this is starting to frustrate me just a little bit. Alright, well, I'm gonna be right back. Sorry about all this. Alright, so I may be a little bit of a blind idiot. Here we go. That should do it. Sorry that it's taken me like 10 minutes to do this, especially because this isn't particularly groundbreaking. I think I'll use tech use.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Nothing exactly world-changing, but it does make me feel better that we actually managed to figure it out. Alright. I think that's about it for this area. We've already scraped this place 3 times looking for the damn valves. So let's get into this argument and get on out of here.
I always have a backup plan.
Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously, I cannot read, dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Abelard looks at you, and his last vestiges of restraint vanish. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble, you believed their lies, and showed them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by cultists, the rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like because they see you as a weak leader. Oh, hell no, Abelard. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencius Protectorate? Yeah, let's do this, Abelard. No, you want to have a talk? Let's have a fucking talk, dude. Let's talk about your role in all this instead. You allowed this revolt to happen. Your actions practically guaranteed it would. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember, Lord Captain, Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. Oh, you motherfucker. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There is a new Lord Captain aboard this ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you stunned and exhales loudly. Then he nods curtly. I command your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. The creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake. rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all, the rogue traitor was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All of this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue traitor, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible, and to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Dude, you guys had a riot every time you entered the warp. Do not give me that shit. Yeah, number 2. Let me just double check. Yeah, number 2. I understand, but you need to learn how to respect me as your Lord Captain and rogue traitor. Accept it and start living in the new world. A world where Theodora is gone and where you and I have new decisions to make. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at you with interest. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment, should my old habits ever begin to creep back in. Thank you. And now, please let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue traitor desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. I agree, Abelard. Let us get the hell out of here. I've wasted enough of this episode screwing around with these damn valves.
Keep my options open.
It's time to make some progress. Oh, I think everybody has a level up, so I'm gonna have to look at my handy dandy notebook. And see what we are going to do. Alright, come on, potato. Any minute now. And we're back. Sorry about that. Potato sort of had a brain fart there for a minute. Let's do some leveling up. So, level 8. Alright, we want... Where is it? Ooh, that's good. We'll be getting that later. We'll be getting this later. But this is our weapon of expertise. 9% armor penetration against enemies that are 7 cells away or further. Yes, please. They deal 2. Ooh. That is nice. I believe we are getting that a little bit later. Are we getting that later? I am gonna have to look around, but we are gonna get this one for now because armor penetration seems to help out a little bit. Okay, yeah, no. There are a lot of numbers there, but this is actually better. And then we also want killing plan. The bonus damage of surefire plan is increased by plus 6%. Killing at least one enemy with the attack restores 1 stack of surefire plan. That is really good. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie. Next up, Goth Mommy. This is gonna take a little bit of thought. Let's see. What does athletics do? Ability to... Okay. Ooh, she's at 70. Demolition Mommy it is. Alright, next. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's see. Steel. Ooh, okay. Okay, sorry about this. Doing a lot of reading. That would be really good. Ooh. I don't know if I have too many of those at the moment, but that would be really good. Let's go with It Will Not Die. Here we go. Give her some more wounds. Make it so she's a little bit harder to kill, and then we can worry about stuff in the future. Alright, Cassia. Rank 8, we want Commanding Voice. The range of the officer's ability is increased by +3. Voice of command is increased by +6. That's very good. And then we want Awareness. Lore Warp. Does this affect... Huh. Yeah, we'll go with awareness. But I'm gonna think about this. Argenta. Here we go. Okay. Rank 8. We want... Okay. Alright, so... there should be one called Rapid Fire. They may have... Ooh. Here it is. Okay. Cover efficiency is increased by +10% for full cover and +20% for half cover. Ooh, okay. Got some decisions to make in the future. We'll go with Medicaid for you. That way you can actually start using health packs. Adira. We want... There we go. That'll work for you for now. And then... Oh, God. Let's see. I think Aftershock will come up a lot more often. Let's see. Abelard. Yeah, here we go. Rank 8. we want... Let's go with Carouse, because you're the best at that. And then we want Invigorate Hatred. Here we go. When the warrior ends their turn near an enemy affected by the Sworn Enemy ability, the warrior gains +8 temporary wounds. Yep, let's go with that one. Alright. I believe we're all leveled up, and we got a little bit of time. So, before we go track down the, I'll walk and talk. Before we go track down the Death Cult stuff, I want to go to the prison planet because I'm still insanely nervous that we're going to screw up the timing. But I realized right at the end of last episode that I didn't actually go here. The astropathic station is dead ahead of the void ship. It is motionless. There is lifeless silence across its Vox frequencies. Its lights are out. Even those who have no warp sensitivity can feel the presence of death. It is here, lurking in the shadows. All of this makes reading the reports of the ship's astropaths, who claim to be hearing an incessant ghostly howl emanating from the station, all the more disturbing. Let's try this one. Okay. Contact the station by Vox. Okay. Let's send in a scouting team. The enforcers offered their prayers and proceeded to enter the uncanny station. What they saw inside was monstrous. Astropaths upon their thrones, not quite here, not quite now, smudged as it were across time. Servants reliving their horrible deaths again and again, only to be reborn out of the ashes and blood into more agony a moment later. The warp manifested itself here, twisting the very nature of existence. The main hall was covered in a crust of psychic ice. A green-robed blind man sat motionless upon a tall throne. He was quite literally embedded in the ice, yet he was still alive and screaming. Well, I'm gonna go with number 1 because that's the skill test, so hopefully we get more from that. I do not like sending my main astropath, but hopefully it works out. Send Zachary Weiss to the station with a squad of bodyguards. Lord Warp test succeeded, yes. Choirmaster Weiss boarded the station in person and proceeded to the choir's hall. He stood silently for hours in front of a man frozen in ice and held a telepathic conversation with him. Oh, shit. 28 experience. Weiss offered a prayer to the God Emperor, and the unfortunate man passed away. Upon returning to the ship, Weiss reverently presented the Lord Captain with a grim trophy, the choir master's amulet, taken from his frozen body after his death. Denial of nightmares. If worn by a psyker, the wearer gains immunity to the horrors of the warp effect. Oh my god! That is so good that I cannot use it. That feels like cheating. I'm not going to do that on this playthrough, but oh my god. Oh my god. I'll say this, it really makes me want to play a psyker when I make my next character. The psychic shriek carrying across the immaterium has been silenced, but this has brought the crew no relief. A chilling realization came to the astropaths when they discovered that the cry was masking a different sound. one even more terrifying and surreal. It was the melody of the cataclysm born from a warp storm of titanic power, so intense that the entire expanse must be able to hear it. It muffles astropathic messages and crawls into psychers' minds, evoking everywhere the same image, a dark, gaping, beastly mouth cleaving the universe in two. Now that the mad choir master has finally stopped screaming, the song of the Immaterium has reached the rogue trader's void ship too. Who would choose number 3? Ooh, this is the big decision. Everything in my body is telling me to burn everything, but the greed, I need to know what happened. A brief and chilling chronicle of the station's doom was found in the scribe's records. A warp disturbance of monstrous proportions wiped out half of the choir at once, turning the astropaths into living portals through which torrents of the Immaterium's energies poured out. Those who lasted longer bellowed and howled with about a black rift that had split the universe into before and after, and a darkness that would devour the Astronomicon's light. Well, it didn't devour the Astronomicon, but it did devour Acadia. Burn everything. Void torpedoes shatter the fragile station. One can only hope that the unfortunate souls captured by the warp have perished along with their home. Alright, well, sorry to cut it here, folks, but it is getting to be about that time of the hour. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming along with me. I hope you all have had a wonderful day. But until I see you next time, have fun and stay safe out there.